Hi, this is Mrs. Edwards, and today is a new day. I'm so happy to see you guys again. Now, what I want you to think about is what we talked about the last time. This is part two of our summer foods and poetry. So, if you were able to watch the last time, hopefully you were able to do the activity. I kind of closed it out by saying that we eat every single day. So there's no excuse why you cannot participate in this activity. I thought it was something fun because everyone could participate and you really didn't have to go far or have to do anything extra. All you had to do was dig through your fridge or dig through your pantry and find your favorite summer food. So, before I begin talking about all of that and doing our recap, let me ask you, how are you feeling today? Wonderful. So, if you remember, I shared with you about this book, The Best Chef in Second Grade, and I thought it was a good read. Then I said, brainstorm some ideas. What are some foods you like to eat during the summer? And then you were to pick your favorite food. We also brainstormed and we came up with snow cones, popsicles, barbecue, s'mores, watermelon, strawberry shortcake. And I know you came up with some more at home. Remember, I'd said to use your senses. What does it sound like? What does it look like? How does it feel? What does it taste like? What does it smell like? What does it remind you of? And then we even talked about some sensory words. Remember that? And then we took those sensory words and we needed to make some similes. Like the apple is as shiny as a new car. It tastes as sweet as sugar. The first bite sounded crunchy like a chip. Then I told you about those snow cones. Remember, you had to wash your hands first. And the ice was getting shaved. There it is, all nice and formed. And here comes the syrup on top. Blue raspberry. Whew, that was a lot, wasn't it? Oh my goodness, we talked about similes, we talked about descriptive words, we talked about using our senses, we even showed at the end talking about snow cones. So now let's take a look a little closer at what I had shared with you guys at the end. I didn't talk about it because I wanted to save it for today as we are getting ready to put our poem together, okay? So, as we are getting ready to put our poem together, here are the things that I thought about as I was eating my snow cone. As I heard it when after the juice was on it, it was slushy. It sounded slushy as I moved it around in my cup. Then, as I looked at it, it looked tasty and it was the color blue. It was icy how it felt because it was freezing. It was juicy, sweet, blue raspberry, and it smelled fruity because of the flavor. It reminded me of the snow cone barn and hot summer days. So, again, those were all of the things that we brainstormed about. So let's stop, and I'm going to take that information and I'm going to write a poem. So, title. I'm just going to title it Snow Cone. Snow cones. The sound of the slush. Yeah, I like the way that sounds. I'm going to write it. As I stir it around. Okay, do I put a period? Yeah, go ahead. It's as blue as the sky See, there's a simile. Yeah, I like it. I'm going to keep it. That's so far. Do I want it to rhyme or not rhyme? That's so far from round the ground. That's so far from the ground. Okay, that's the end of that first stanza. I'm gonna make it two stanzas. Icy. That's how it felt. So icy to the touch. Fruity to, that's the way it smelled. Fruity to smell. And I can't forget, so juicy. Now let me wrap it up. A hot summer day's sweet treat. Yeah, I like the way that sounds. A hot summer day's sweet treat. Okay, I'm kind of rhyming, so that can't, what rhymes with treat? That can't be beat. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I like the way that sounds. Let's read it. Snow cones, the sound of the slush as I stir it around. It's as blue as the sky that's so far from the ground. Icy to the touch, fruity to smell, and so juicy. A hot summer day sweet treat that can't be beat. So now, after I was thinking about all of the things that the other teachers had been talking about, I had decided that we were going to make s'mores. And then I'm going to give you guys the chance to help me as I show you a few pictures of those s'mores we made. So, what did you think about the s'mores? Yeah, we weren't camping outside or anything, but it was very fun to do. We cooked them in the oven and we put them on broil. It was pretty fun, and they couldn't stay in there too long because they get really hot fast. And the marshmallows, as you could tell, they were. How would you describe the marshmallows at first? Roasted. That's a good one. Or toasted. I could look at those and say, oh, we roasted them, or they look real toasted on the top because it started to get a little dark on the top. So it started to not so much burn, but it was getting toasted. So, like you hear, toasting marshmallows over an open campfire. Again, it was so fun. And my kids even looked through the stove and they turn the light on so they could see as the marshmallows began to expand and begin to melt. So, again, help me out with some words. So when you you really couldn't hear them because they're marshmallows. But think about it. It had graham crackers, it had some chocolate, and had a marshmallow and then a graham cracker on top. So, what might be some words that you could use in order to describe how it may sound when you bite into it? Crunchy, crispy. Now, we're dealing with our sounds, so think about those words, those sounds that you hear, okay? Good one. All right. Now Let's move on and talk about what you saw. Well, actually, we just did that, right? We said they were roasted, they were toasted, whichever word that you wanted to use. All right, so that was one. Thank you. And then let's keep on going. And then the next one, how did it feel? Well, I tell you, when we had it in our hands, it was really gooey. Gooey. It was so messy. It was going all over the place. The marshmallows were falling out on the side. The chocolate was all over the place. And it made it real hard to eat. So I was like, y'all stay over your plate and eat it very carefully. So, gooey would be a way to describe how it felt. Okay? Oh, yes. And one of my kids just reminded me, it looked delicious. It looked tasty, yummy. Those are some of the words that they used when they were eating them. Okay? Next, let's go keep on going around. Let's think about how did they how did it taste? What are some words that we could use? Yes, chocolatey, sweet. Anything else? Okay, well, thank you. But see, all of those words, I'm taking them and we're going to, like I said, we're using our senses in order to make our poem so we can describe it. We're being very descriptive as we are writing this. Yes, yes, your poem can even rhyme too. If you choose to make it rhyme, perfectly fine. Now, let's go on to the next one. So we did how it, oh, the smell. That's what was missing because we did how it looked, how it felt, how it sounded, how it tastes. Now, how did it smell? You guys weren't in the house, but can you imagine some words that we could say on how it smelled? Yes, you could kind of smell the chocolate, but it did smell real sweet as you got it closer. And the graham cracker was one of the smells that I could smell, especially as you're eating it. Very good. So we talked about all of our senses, but remember at the very bottom, I had a question to ask, and I said, "What does it remind you of? What does it make you think of? Maybe a summer trip, a vacation, a family member, or some other memory that you may have, maybe from school or something." So when you think about a s'more, meaning, because that's what we're talking about today, how could it have made us feel? Okay, yes, last year my son went to a camp, leadership camp somewhere, and one of the things that they did is that they roasted marshmallows. So that might make him, for example, think about the time when he was outside. When I was a little girl, I always go back to this. But I was a campfire girl. And I remember going out to the Belton Lake, and I really thought we were further away than that. But as I got older, I was like, yeah, we were in Belton. But it was so fun. Actually, it was Stillhouse Hollow Lake. And the campfire, I still can visualize the sparks flying off of the campfire and us holding the marshmallows over that. So that's a memory that I have. So again, when you're talking about your food, that's something that you can put inside of your poem. So let's get writing. Okay, now with your help, I took all that we talked about s'mores, all the descriptive words from using our senses, and put it on a chart. This is to help me to write the poem. And here it is. Campfire treat. Memories of camping and gathering around the fire, sniffing the aroma of toasted marshmallows. Melted and crispy and crunchy to bite, Feels so gooey and chewy and so yummy at sight. Wow, thanks you guys for helping. Now it's your turn. Now, you've already used your senses, so go ahead and take what you had from the last time and begin writing your poem. Decide if you want it to rhyme, have rhythm, or several stanzas. Oh, and yeah, try adding a simile. Add a picture if you would like. Have fun and share your summer food poem with someone.